know if it's seasonal depression or Battlefield 2042, because every time I play this nightmare, I'm overcome with a sudden sadness, regret, and crippling weight on my shoulders, a voice in my ear saying, "You wasted $140 on this, you idiot." That's right, I spent $140, and that was entirely an accident. More on that later. But as someone who hyped up the game back in April as a Call of Duty killer, just seeing it in its current state is kinda sad. Hot take, but I'd say Vanguard is easily ranked over this, even with that disastrous post-launch. Because Vanguard, for all intents and purposes, is flawed, but at least it's worth my $70 purchase at launch. Unlike Battlefield 2042, which is probably barely worth the $5 price tag shown here, which I received from Russell here. Check him out, by the way. He's got some good stuff. I could probably sit here for a long time explaining how incompetent the developers have seemed with the launch of this game, and it quite literally shows with the overall design of the game. Like, what are these? That's a rhetorical question, by the way, because these are specialists. Make sure you are checking your overzealous Call of Duty fan, because most of them know the sheer pain and frustrations these bring to the game. Even on paper, this doesn't make sense for Battlefield. Like, I imagine they had this in mind looking at Call of Duty system, yet the system hasn't been in the game since Black Ops 4. That was like 3 games ago. And they didn't take this out by mistake, because nobody liked the system. Everyone hated it and panned it. The thing I laugh at the most is that this was supposed to replace the traditional class system that we're used to, and yet it's just a shell of its former self, because they still have a class system. It's just nowhere close to what it used to be. So basically you can use any gun, any sort of equipment, and any class that you want. So it's just like, why is this even here? To be honest, this system is just a glorified custom class system. You want to talk about UI? Because this is the most unoptimized UI I have ever seen. Because just trying to pick a specialist along with a weapon and what attachments I want to use in-game feels like more of a chore than a streamlined process, which I actually think I said in this video, which I made during the beta. Kind of how you can change your attachments mid-game. Very dumb, and it's very clunky. Like, the whole UI itself, extremely clunky. Doesn't really function properly. Doing it mid-game actually kind of feels very weird, and it could actually probably lead to a lot of balance issues, depending on the gun that you're using. And it was even worse when I started playing the Portal. I couldn't figure out how to equip an attachment, because you would think the system would be this consistent across the board, but it's most definitely not. It wasn't until I looked it up either on Google or YouTube did I figure out how to change an attachment. Like, what the Don't get me started on the lack of content. This game is missing a lot, especially with a game that's lacking a campaign. Hold on, settle down. I agree they don't need a campaign, because I agree Battlefield's campaigns are usually just horribly written and not that great and just might as well be out of the game anyway. By taking out the campaign, however, I expect that frees up at least more developers to working on the multiplayer. And for a game that has a measly 22 guns and 7 maps, sorry, but that ain't it, Chief. Well, there's 13 maps total, but 6 are in the Portal, and which, being honest, is not enough content to me. My opinion, and this is how I just treat the Portal should be treated similar to Warzone as a standalone option that just is available to play for you. There's no way you can view the Portal and Battlefield as just the same thing. It's similar to how you look at Warzone. Warzone is its separate property, and so is Portal. And for the record, Battlefield 4 has, like, I don't know, 78 weapons at launch, if I counted correctly. Additionally, it had 10 maps at launch with a campaign, and that game came out in 2013. So your counter-argument of the Portal is invalid to me. There's not enough here to warrant a $70 purchase. Lastly, a quick couple callouts. The Levolution seems to be replaced by some sort of weather event, which is cool the first time you play, but gets wicked stale when you realize every map has the same event. And I'm not going to lie, it is very monotonous. As you can see my excitement here when I saw it last night on stream, in which I do stream on Twitch now instead of on YouTube, so feel free to follow me there, but you can see that I really just didn't care. I've seen this a million times, and all these weather events are just really dumb, and honestly, I'd rather have Levolution back. And if you made it this far, let me tell you how much of a moron I am, because I accidentally bought 2042 twice. Because since I pre-ordered 2042 on the Series X, I completely forgot months later when I was able to obtain a PS5 that I pre-ordered it again on the PS5 instead of the Series X. So now my stupid idiot ass now owns 2 digital copies of the biggest letdown in gaming. Which honestly might be the best way to sum up the last few videos on this channel. Developers letting down their fan bases, and then most people just accepting that letdown. So, for the people that do play this game, I apologize if you enjoy this game. I just can't. It's awful. I feel like there's so many issues with this game that the developers do need to fix, and I don't see that happening. I think people are holding out hope that they take out the operators and tweak the systems. I don't think that happens. There's no way. I just don't see it happening. I think we're in for the long haul, and you're better off just investing in the next Battlefield game. You're better off just waiting, because at this point, I don't think this is it, Chief. Sorry. I also understand this has probably rustled a few jimmies, but I gotta say to the developers, nice job, guys. You really just did a great job letting people down. Anyway, what do you think of Battlefield 2042? Have you enjoyed it? And if you have, why? Because I'm genuinely curious why you're enjoying it. And if you liked the video, feel free and like it. And if you liked it just enough, maybe consider subscribing. Well, thanks for watching, and bye.